20 January 2019, night 1 am. I was standing on the terrace to end my life. I didn't sleep until 1 am because I was doing a night out for C language lab. Up to midnight 12, I by heart some codes and still doing the same. But there are many codes left for by hearting. All my friends slept as they have some inborn coding talent. Many thoughts are coming into my mind. In those thoughts, one thought that came to my mind was, what if I fail the exam? And I was sure I would definitely fail as I am by hearting and forgetting the codes. Until now, there is no fail in my certificates, and I don't want to see fail on my certificates. So I wish to end my life. Then I went to the terrace on a dark night. I was shivering while climbing the stairs because I was scared of darkness. But I don't want to see fail in my certificates. So I went on to the terrace. I was crying because I'm going to die. And I'm also remembering that my parents will cry when they come to know the truth that I am no more. I remembered my mom and dad and crying. Different thoughts and memories confusing my mind. I was crying loud. I became tired. And I started thinking I used to be the top ranker in my school. And I'm thinking why my friends are capable of coding, but why I am not capable of coding, although I started learning coding very early. I'm crying inside. I am in pain. No matter how much I try to calm myself, nothing worked. Then one story that came to my mind stopped the thought of ending my life and encouraged me to search for other talents. In pre-university course, I learned HTML, Bootstrap, PHP and JavaScript basics to design different websites, and I thought CSE was a correct fit for me. So I took computer science engineering, and I also bought a pure white notebook to learn C language. I understood 2 chapters until if and else. But after that, no matter how much I tried, I was not able to understand at least one coding problem. I went and studied Rima Tareja book and saw even 12 hours of YouTube videos on C and Java and noted down all the things. But after noting down all the things I learned, when I started practicing coding on the laptop, my mind was going blank. On these worst days, lab exams came and I started shivering. And one day, the teacher who is teaching us C language came to our class and said that the exam is going to be very tough. I came to know that by hacking code also will not make me pass. But I just want to give my best by hearting. And no matter what question he gives, I just want to write what I by heart. Sir, I just want to say one thing. Sir, by hearting code is not at all easy, and it's like by hearting A to Z alphabets randomly. It's 12:30 am, and different thoughts are coming to my brain and saying me that you are going to fail and you will definitely have fail in your certificates. Two different persons in my brain fighting for hours. Then the person saying I would definitely fail in the exam won the debate. And I decided to end my life as I don't want to see fail on my certificates. So I decided to end my life. But one story that saved my life was this story. Everyone has their limits, even an elephant who's not capable of climbing a tree but can uproot it. A person not interested in coding will go for management and he will become the leader of the coding people. Bird can't knock down a tree but it can fly. A person bored of sitting in the same place and doing an uninterested coding job will get bored and fly all over the world as a tourist, aloof from this boring coding life, and may become famous and rich with his talent of video filming. From cat to hedgehog, snake to turtle, this rambling tale reminds us that everyone has skills, just not all the skills. Everyone has skills, just not all the skills. Some management people can't code and some coding people cannot manage. Everyone has their limits. Remember, you have your own limits. I am trying to convey that some students may not understood coding but may be good at history and aim to crack civils. If a person is not good at coding, it doesn't mean they are stupid and it's waste of living. By the way, sir, Today's generation are not innocents and everyone has their plan of action for their future. Students are publishing papers and learning programming languages on their own if they find it's their skill. People who are not good at coding preparing for the government exams. So please give them the freedom to learn what they want. Fear of failure is the reason for the so don't scare students by mailing before the exam and telling them it's hard to pass, be careful, use your brain. No sir, please. Sir, don't give question papers that can be only understood by top 1% students in class. No, don't do that. Don't force them. Sir, please give them the freedom to spend time on building their lives in their interested field. There is no rule that every CSE student must become a software engineer. They may initially find CSE interesting just like me, but later they may encounter problems while dealing with their code. Or initially they may find interesting, but they may feel boring later. Sir, many people who are capable of coding also finding it boring after 3 or 4 years. Sir, you know what? My innocent friends have been trying to learn coding for 5 years, but still they cannot code on themselves, even a single program, and they didn't even get a job. And they may can't climb tree like elephants, which is their limit. So please don't intimidate students. Give them freedom to build their lives in their interested field. There may be students like me standing on the terrace and crying by remembering their parents. My thoughts about coding became double strong after a conversation with my junior about the coding. My junior got 10 by 10 in 10th grade. And one day she called me and said exactly my story. She said, Akka, I went to the library and studied books, watched YouTube videos, but I couldn't answer even one question. And I cannot able to code. She also said, Akka, but 2-3 students in the class understanding the coding and answering questions and coding by themselves. What I said was, not everyone has the skill of coding, but still try. When you definitely find coding is not your skill, immediately start hunting other talents in you. And now she is preparing for groups. Sir, I'm not against coding. My classmate said he feels like playing the piano while coding. That's great, that's amazing. But do you know how I feel? I feel like sitting on the high flame stove. So it's good if you have an interest in coding. If you don't find coding interesting, it's just wonderful. You're going to have better life without sticking to the same chair. Sir, don't force students to spend time on what they are not interested. Please give them time to build their future in their interested field. Please don't force them to allocate all their time to coding, which will not help them in finding food in future. Give them their own time to build their future in a field where they will also feel like playing piano. After 4 years, I am here, selected by a top university in the USA for management.